Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts update video. Finally, I'm doing an update video instead of a DVD bin dive. So I have a few things piling up that I want to kind of put away, so I'm going to record a video here and show you guys some of the things I picked up over the past month or so. Joined by the ladies again. Got a couple of candles lit. It's about 6:30 p.m. on Friday. I hope you guys had a nice week. Hope you're getting ready to enjoy a nice weekend. So I have a small pile here on the end from Scream Factory. I got a pile here from Scream Team Releasing. I have a little pile here from Vinegar Syndrome. I got some DVDs I picked up. A Disney member pick of the month that they sent to me. I forgot to decline it. Actually, I wanted to get it, so I just didn't do anything, and they sent it to me. And then I picked up a new media book from my favorite horror film. And then I have some other previous titles I wanted to show you from Scream Team Releasing. I have a couple of records here that I picked up as well. And I guess that's what we're going to show today. So get yourself relaxed, get a snack and a beverage, kick your feet up, light a candle, turn the lights out. Let's check out these movies, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. I guess we'll go through the Scream Factory stuff first. So let's not get confused between Scream Factory and Scream Team Releasing. I'm going to go back to back on those. The first one here is Night of the Demons in 4K plus Blu-ray. They had previously already released this on Blu-ray with a slipcover, which I own already. I wanted to upgrade it to 4K. It's a fun little, monster movie, creature feature type movie. It's a good movie to watch around the Halloween season. And it comes with a pretty cool slipcover. I like the black cases that they come in. And the movie itself came out in 1987. And of course, this was just recently released on 4K. And you can see that there's a whole huge box of special features here. So disc 1, you get the 4K uncut version of the movie. And disc 2, you get the Blu-ray uncut version of the movie, plus all these extra bonus materials here. There's Linnea Quigley. So that is Night of the Demons in 4K. And then never before released on Blu-ray from Scream Factory is Demons 2, Night of the Demons 2. Angela's throwing another party, Trick or Treat Sucker. This movie came out in 1994. So a good 7 years after the original one was the sequel. I was glad to see that Scream Factory released this on Blu-ray in a collector's edition to go along with the first one. So you know damn well that Scream Factory is going to release this again in 4K, and we're all going to buy it. That's just how they do it. So yeah, there's really not much else to say about this other than it's new to my collection. They do have some new bonus features though. Looks like new Red Curls and Screams interview with actor Christy Harris. A sequel with Guts interview with producer Jeffrey, and Dailies of the Demon, an hour of dailies from the set. And Night of the Demons 2 work print with alternate scenes, extended scenes, deleted scenes. That's cool. And they also have a new audio commentary with cast members Christy Harris, Jennifer Rhodes, Johnny Moran, and Darren Heems. A Tale of Two Demons directors Kevin S. Tenney and Brian Trenchard Smith discuss their entries in the Demons trilogy. So there's some really good new stuff on here, which is good to see. And then, of course, part 3 on Blu-ray. Angela is up to her old tricks again. So this one came out in 1996, directed by Jimmy Kaufman. So there's some new stuff on here too, audio commentaries. Interviews. And it looks like alternate director's cut, completely different version of the film with extended cutscenes in standard def. That's interesting. I'll check that out. I don't think I've ever seen that version of it. So yeah, these are good Halloween time movies. And then I got a couple of cheapies that I needed for the collection. This one's called You'll Like My Mother. Run, Francesca, Run for Your Life. This is a 70s horror movie, 1972, and you may recognize John Boy, Richard Thomas there. Also Patty Duke is in here. And let's see, who was it directed by? Lamont Johnson. I am completely unfamiliar with that gentleman. But I needed this for the collection, and it was pretty cheap. Just kind of a bare bones edition. And then this is the last one for the Scream Factory stuff. This is one that I had on my wish list for a long time. And I saw that the seller dropped the price to $11, and I grabbed it. I thought, what the heck, why not? And this is Species, the collector's edition, in brand new like condition. It's used, but it's in perfect condition. $11, that was an easy buy for me. The movie came out in 1995. Directed by Roger Donaldson. Has Sir Ben Kingsley. Michael Madsen's also in here. And of course, the very lovely Natasha Henstridge. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. I remember liking it. I didn't love it, but I thought it was decent. Pretty good movie. And I thought for $11 in this perfect condition, it was well worth it. So I'm going to pause it here, and we'll get into the Scream team releasing movies. Scream Team Releasing is a company that I really enjoy. The company, they release independent horror movies, and a lot of these movies are low to medium budget. These are not like the shoestring budget movies. They actually have a decent budget, but they're independent, and some of these are excellent movies, I gotta tell you. And this pile here that I'm going to show you, these are new to my collection. There's also a pile here that I've owned already, and I want to kind of share those with you just to give you some ideas of what else they have in their catalog and give you some suggestions to maybe get for your own collection. So this first one here is called The Witching Season, and I haven't watched this one yet. This is another Halloween time movie. It says Halloween Tales of Terror. Really, really good cover. And so this one has over 2 hours of special features. that's what the Scream Team Releasing logo looks like. I really like that. And of course, you just go to, you can Google Scream Team Releasing and it will take you to their website. They have a lot of great stuff there. They sell DVDs, Blu-rays, vinyl records, VHS tapes. So, and they have these kind of like anthology horror movies, and this is one. It says the season never ends. The Witching Season is a 5-episode spine-tingling anthology of horror and suspense that delivers original tales of terror that capture the spirit of the Halloween season. Now this one came out a couple of years ago, but I just recently picked it up. It came out in 2018, so it's been out for 5 years. But there you can see the 5 tales, and like it says there, over 2 hours of special features. So I haven't watched this yet. I can't really talk about it, but I wanted to share it with you guys. I haven't watched these next 2 either. These are Cruel Summer and Cruel Summer 2. We'll first talk about Cruel Summer from the makers of Hell's Bells. Also, if you are an independent filmmaker yourself, you can submit your film to this company and they will review it and see if they would like to go into partnership with you or if they would, help you release the movie. I'm not exactly sure the process, but there is a form when you go to their website. You can submit your movie to them, and then I guess you can go from there and find out exactly the process yourself. But I thought that was a really cool feature that they had. It says, the weekend they'll remember until the day they die. I like these kind of backwoods slasher movies. Even low budget, I really don't care. I think they're fun. So this one is pretty new. It says it came out in 2023. Well, that's when they released it. I don't know if that's when the movie was made, but it's only telling me 2023 Scream Team Releasing LLC distribution on the bottom down there. But this is unrated. You get some bonus features. It's a slasher. College students, graduation party, secluded lake house, ultimate 80s murder mystery weekend. I love that kind of stuff, so I knew I had to grab these. They're very fairly priced too. I think for these Blu-rays are like $20, $19.99 or something like that. And just keep in mind that you're helping to support indie horror movies when you buy this kind of stuff. You're helping the director and the producer to make more stuff down the road. So I'm all for that. And the sequel, Cruel Summer 2. They know what he did last summer. There's the killer. I'm looking forward to maybe this Sunday I'll go through and do a marathon of these movies. So this one also came out in 2023. The kills are sadistic, sanguine, and pretty damned satisfying. It says the mayhem of blood flows in the next chapter of the retro throwback that is Cruel Summer Saga. You get some bonus features. I didn't want to spend too much time per title because I do have a lot of stuff to show, so I'm just going to kind of keep moving. Here's another one. This is Camp Killer, a film by Sean Jones. It's all signed up. That's another cool thing about their website. You can choose to buy the movie. Like for these were also signed. I chose to get the unsigned for these. So the unsigned DVDs or Blu-rays, I should say, are $19.99. I think if you want to get them signed up, it's like $24.95 or something like that. It's not very much more. But I wanted to get this one signed up. This is a twin billing, so you get Maniac Farmer, which is all signed up by this guy. Matthew Williams did Maniac Farmer. And some other people signed it up. I'm not really sure. Looks like there's 2 signatures. Looks like there's Matthew Williams there, and then a JR, and then there's somebody down here too, so I'm not really sure who they are. And the Camp Killer is a film by Sean Jones, and there's quite a few signatures here, and that's really cool. So I was willing to go the extra $5 to get it signed up by 2 different directors and some other people who had something to do with the movie. And then you get the disc. Both of the movies are on the same disc, and you can flip it if you want to, where the covers are both on the front instead of one on the front, one on the back. And again, these are kind of, I guess, backwoods slasher movies. And like I said before, these are my favorite kind of movies, so I knew I had to grab these. The next one is The Barn, Part 2. I gotta say that these movies are amazing. They're excellent. I'm sure some of you have seen these by now. I do have Part 1 in that pile, and I'm gonna go through and show you in a minute. I recently picked this up. I watched it. I was blown away. I think these movies are fantastic. I like the slipcover where it looks like the VHS tape is coming out. It's pretty cool, man. I like that. I think Graham Humphreys did the artwork on these too. I'm almost 100% sure that he did. You get a documentary too called Returning to the Barn. These movies are done by a director named Justin Seaman. Justin, if you can see his name down there, he's very approachable. I'm friends with him, air quotes, friends with him on Facebook, even though I don't go on Facebook very much. But he's very willing to talk about his movies and stuff like that. He's very approachable, down to earth dude, really cool guy. And these movies are excellent. And if you pick out anything from this video that you need to get that you don't have already, get The Barn and The Barn Part 2. They're excellent. I also picked up a second sequel to 1031. This is 1031 Part 3. This is also a horror anthology done in the same vein as like Creepshow. I have 1031 Part 1 and 2 in that pile. So here's Part 3. I love these covers. They make it look like an old comic book, kind of like a Creepshow style. Featuring monsters, madmen. What does that say? Malvolia. These are really, really cool. These are also excellent movies. 1031 Part 3 is spooky, gory, and it delivers the goods. I haven't watched Part 3 yet, but I have watched Part 1 and 2, and they're very good. They're unrated. And looks like this one came out in 2022. I know the regular cover looks a little different. I wanted to show you that. That's what you can order this with or without the slipcover. But if the slipcover is available, why wouldn't you order the slipcover? I mean, I guess everybody's a little different, right? If there's a slipcover available, I want it. That's just the way I am as a collector, but maybe some people don't care. But that's what it looks like without and with. And I'm just going to put that off to the side. Here's another one. This is their latest release. This is called The Pumpkin Man. And again, I haven't watched any of these yet. I've been really busy. But I'm going to pick a day, like I said, maybe this Sunday I'm just going to go through and maybe watch 2, 3, maybe 4 movies if I can. I usually have things to do around the house on the weekends, though. But that looks amazing. You guys will have to let me know if you've watched any of the pile here that I haven't watched. And try not to give any spoilers, please. Here's Pumpkin Patch Full of Extras. The Book of Kerbis, audio commentary, Carving a Pumpkin, Making of. These movies are awesome. This company is amazing. And I know maybe most of you guys already know about Scream Team releasing, but maybe there's somebody that never heard of them before, and I'd like to share that with you. This is called 13 Slays Till Xmas, and this is going to be in my December watch pile that I'll be talking about in the month of December. Pray Christmas Doesn't Come Early. That looks pretty awesome. It says at the bottom, a fresh, fun, twisted romp, the perfect blood-soaked present for holiday-loving horror fans. Jeffrey Reddick, creator of Final Destination. So I'm pretty sure all of these that I'm showing you, you can get with autographs if you want to. You will see, if you go to their website, you'll be able to see. It's in the options. You'll be able to click signed or unsigned. From the creator of Volumes of Blood and the directors of Pool Party Massacre, The Conduit, Season's Greetings 2, Sleep Tight, Unlisted Owner, For We Are Many, 5 Wild Animals, VOB Horror Stories, and After the Slasher. I don't really recognize many of those. So it has almost 2 hours of bonus features again. So you really do get way more than your money's worth out of this, and you're supporting or helping to support independent horror films. This one came out in 2020. The next one is called The Last Thanksgiving. After this year, there can't be another. This one also did come out in 2020. A gory serving of Thanksgiving horror that will satiate your appetite for Turkey Day terror. Satiate? I've heard the word, I just can't remember how to pronounce it. Satiate. I don't know, that's weird. A Thanksgiving slasher fest that will leave you wanting another helping. Is that Linnea? That looks like Linnea right there. Hold on, let me get a better. Man, she has really aged very well. She's still gorgeous. Yep, that is her right there. She works a lot too. She's in a lot of movies. Meet the Brimstones. They're a normal American family. They have normal jobs, live normal lives, except every November they hunt down anybody who doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. So this almost sounds like it may be a black comedy, like a comedy horror. Let's take a look inside. So there's the disc, and you get a pretty gruesome image of, it looks like a burnt corpse, extra crispy. And then the last one I picked up is, I don't know what to make of this. I haven't watched it yet, but this is called Back Road, the X-rated director's cut. And it comes with a slipcover. It looks like it may be very gory. You can see that that guy's head is split right in half. And then she's got some kind of a worm or something coming out of her mouth. That guy's got a hatchet right in the face. And it looks like, okay, I can show, it just looks like it's kind of a wet, kind of a splatter flick. If you want a violent and brutal flick, Back Road is the one for you. One of this year's nastiest films, a film that is indelibly seared into our memory. Yeah, it looks pretty gross. The version too extreme for streaming. There's a blooper reel. audio commentary, alternate ending, deleted scenes, B-roll footage. And this came out in 2021. Take a look at the other cover. So that's a pretty good cover too. Different back too, a little bit different. And inside there's the disc. And what do we have here? A pile of carnage, a gore pile. So that was my new Scream Team releasing stuff. I'm going to stop the video here, and then I'm going to show you what I previously had and give you guys some ideas of what you can pick up for your collection. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go through these quickly and just kind of tell you which ones I suggest, which pretty much all of these, but for sure the Barn. This is the Barn Part 1. This is also a Graham Humphreys cover. This is the first one, and just to kind of put it side by side with Part 2 so you guys can get that full effect. Definitely do pick these two up. And as far as I know, the slipcovers are still available, so go check those out now. The next two that I had already. So this is 1031 Part 2. These are horror anthology movies. And this is the one that I just showed you earlier. So these are the 3 1031 movies, all with great covers. So I do recommend all 3 of these. So I'll just keep moving. I'll put these off to the side. This is called Cherokee Creek. I put that in a black case. This is a Bigfoot movie. To me, this one bombed. It says at the top, one of my favorite Bigfoot films ever. I don't know who that is. It's Tori Danielle from Pop Horror. I don't know who that is. I did not really care much for this movie. I was let down. It was not very good. I wouldn't recommend this one unless you're a completionist and you like to collect everything from a company like Scream Team Releasing. Then you can probably grab this. Believe me, the cover looks way better than the movie is. Another one that kind of fell flat to me was Murder Made Easy. It's kind of a comedy horror, or kind of like a comedy suspense. It's not really a horror. It just wasn't very good. I hate to kind of trash talk to independent horror movies, but I would just not recommend these to you guys. These two, I would kind of pass on these. Then again, you might like it. I have different taste than most people. Here's one called Spine Chiller. This one was signed up by some people. This one was pretty good. I enjoyed this one. And this one was very good. This is called The Sleeper Special Collector's Edition. I wish this would have came with a slipcover. This also does have a VHS release that looks really cool. I'm thinking about grabbing that too. The VHS, it comes in I think it's a big box, and then it has a red VHS tape. But this is a good movie. This is really good. You get a 2-disc here. So disc 1 is the Blu-ray with the feature film and special features, and disc 2 is the DVD and special features. So grab that one. This is another horror anthology. This one's called Volumes of Blood. This one's signed up. Special Collector's Edition. I enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty cool. There's another signature back here too. Yeah, these are pretty fun movies. Volumes of Blood. I think there's another volume too, like a volume 2. I'm not sure yet. And then I have a couple of DVDs. This is the Barn DVD, and this is 1031 DVD. So these both also had VHS releases that they sold out, and the VHS is going for in excess of $130 a piece for these now. So I was able to pick up Pumpkin Man on VHS. It's still available. These are in short quantities, low quantities. So you still may be able to grab this on VHS if you go over there now. But these VHS that Scream Team releases are very collectible, very sought after, and they're very low quantities. So when they're gone, and scalpers, they will scalp your ass, and they'll, you know, I think the VHS were going for $30. So if they sell out, instead of paying $30, you're going to be spending $130. That's up to you. So that was my Scream Team stuff. I showed you guys what I just recently picked up and what I owned. I hope I was able to give you guys some suggestions. I'm going to pause it here, and we're going to move on to the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. So I only picked up 2 from Vinegar Syndrome, and actually one is only technically Vinegar Syndrome. The other one's like a sister company, I guess they're calling it. This is Edgar Allan Poe's Buried Alive. I got this used. I bought this on eBay. Brand new like condition. Seller said he viewed it once. I believe him, because this thing looks like it's in perfect brand new condition. And I think I got it pretty cheap. It was right around the 20 mark, maybe a little bit less even. So this movie came out in 1989, 91 minutes running time. It's in widescreen. And there's a little rubber mask villain. It says Janet has taken a job as a teacher at Ravenscroft, a girls' reform school for juvenile delinquents. Not long after arriving, Janet's dreams become plagued with haunting visions of a mysterious brick wall, coupled with a very real increase in disappearances of the facility's young pupils. And we'll leave it at that. We don't want to read too much. This one looks pretty good. And I was glad to pick it up, and this is what the reverse looks like. It's just the same image that's on the slip. So anytime I can get a Vinegar Syndrome title that I don't have already for under $20 with the slipcover, I'm going to probably snatch that up every time. So put that off to the side. The next one is the Video Violence, the Snuff Collection. This one came out a year or 2 ago. So you get Video Violence 1 and 2 in this box set. It has since sold out, and I also got this one for a really good deal. I wasn't really going to pick this one up, but when I saw it for the price it was going for, again, it was used. It's in perfect condition. It's put out by the company Terror Vision. Oops. Filmed by Gary Cohen. These are really, really ultra low budget, shot on video movies. I saw part 1 years ago. I think these came out in like the mid 80s. Was it like 86? Let me see. 87. Maybe the first one came out in 86. Or maybe, I don't think they both came out in 87. Maybe they did. I don't know. But you get archival interviews with the director Gary Cohen, interviews with some of the actors, actresses, with special effects artists, the shot on videos that wouldn't die documentary. That sounds pretty awesome. I like that kind of stuff. Vintage 1994 radio promo. So these are kind of snuff movies, fake snuff movies, obviously. So part 1 is the only one that I've ever seen before, right there, and then part 2. And there's the reverse cover. It looks pretty awesome. That's for part 2. Let me see here. Okay, so this one came out in 1998. So the first one was 87, this one was 88. I was close, I thought 86. That's about the time I remember watching them, around the I probably watched this in around 89, I would say, the first one. They used to have a video store right by my high school. It was called Video Mania, and that place was awesome. You had to have a little video card, like a member card back in those days. It was a little laminated card with your name on it. And on Fridays after school, me and a couple of my buddies would go walk through and just look at all the different horror movies, and we would rent some stuff. I used to work at a grocery store after school, bagging groceries and stuff, so I always had a little bit of change on me. I was always a worker ever since I was like 13. I've been working ever since. I had a paper route, and I was always hustling for money. I've always had a job, always had money coming in. So those are the two, Buried Alive and Video Violence 1 and 2. That's all I have for Vinegar Syndrome for this update video. I'll show you guys a couple of DVDs I picked up. Okay, we'll go through and check out some of these pretty cool, at least in my opinion, pretty cool DVDs. First one here is called Black Pumpkin Trick or Treat. Bought this on eBay. This came out in 2020. It's the unrated version. It does not have a Blu-ray release. Put out by a company called Triangle Road. This one's kind of pricey for a DVD. I think it's around like the $15 to $20 mark, which for DVDs is pretty expensive. For special features, you get Tales of Diablo's Den, Dr. Frank's Sing-Along commercial, and Dr. Frank's Yummy Halloween Fun commercial. I love these kind of movies like this. Black Pumpkin. The next one was also kind of expensive. This one also does not have a Blu-ray release. This is called Creep Tales. I think this one's going anywhere between $20 and $30 for the DVD with the slipcover. The slipcover is kind of rare on this one. So if you look for it, make sure it does have the slipcover. And this is put out by a company called Culture Shock. And if you go to their website, it's sold out. So you're going to have to get in on a secondary market like I did. And I think I paid about $25 for this, which for a DVD is pretty expensive. But again, it does not have a Blu-ray release, at least that I could find. I don't think it does. The Spine-Tingling Chills of Creep Tales. So it's another horror anthology in the same vein as, like Creep Show. Full-length audio commentary. Let me see. Did I say when this came out? 1989 this came out. It was released by Culture Shock in 2021. Oh, she's snoring. That's a good dog. She's going to be 9 years old at the end of this month already. Man, I can't believe how fast time goes. So there are some of the kind of comic book style panels that they have on the front. Really, really cool edition. Glad to have that. This one's kind of a cheapie, but again, this one was kind of, I think like 50% of the ones that I saw on the secondary market had a slipcover, the others didn't. So I don't know if the slipcover is rare, but I wanted to make sure I got one with the slipcover. This is called All the Creatures Were Stirring. This is another holiday horror themed horror movie, and I'm gonna review this one too. This is put out by RLJE Films, and the movie came out in 2018. I don't think this one has a Blu-ray either. It has a filmmaker commentary for the special features. I think the slipcover is exactly the same as it is, so I'm not even going to pull it out. It's exactly the same. The next one is called Gore Face Killer, unrated. This one's out of print too. This came out from Wild Eye. This one's a little pricey too. This is the unrated edition. It looks really great. I wanted to pick this one up. So there's the Wild Eye logo. It came out in 2002. It says right here, so very not rated. I think this one's kind of rare. And the last DVD was also out of print and kind of rare. This is Tony Todd as the embalmer. New and bloody urban legend comes to life in embalmer. This one was also a little bit expensive. I think it was around the $20 mark. And I don't believe this one has a Blu-ray either. So, incredible plot twist at the end of the film. Haven't watched these yet, so I don't know. I've been really busy. Writer-director S. Toriano Barry brings a frightening new urban legend to the screen in the vein of George A. Romero's Living Dead and Brian Usena's Reanimator. That's right there. That sold me. You know, I mean, there's. Oh, they threw like a little sticker in for me. I bought this one on Mercari. I didn't even realize he threw a little sticker in there for me for Maniac. So I'm gonna pause it here, and we will. We're getting kind of close to the end here. I guess I'll talk briefly about the Disney movie, and then I'm gonna show you a media book that I imported from Germany, and I'm gonna show you some other stuff from that same company. So this was the Disney movie choice of the month for October, I believe. This was one of them. They've been doing two a lot lately. They also did, I think, The Haunted Mansion. And since I didn't have Elemental and I haven't seen it yet, I just went ahead and got it. I also do have Haunted Mansion coming and about 10 other movies from the Disney Movie Club, and that's going to be in the next update video. They're not here yet, but I'm going to save that pile for another video. And this is the 4K Blu-ray and digital code for Disney Pixar's Elemental. They're calling it the Ultimate Collector's Edition. I'm not exactly sure if this is a Disney Movie Club exclusive. I think it may have said it was. But I don't know anything about the movie. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty fun. I like the Disney Pixar stuff. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, though. Just going to kind of keep moving on. So I picked up another media book from the German company called Turbine. This one just came out about a few weeks ago. They call this one the Family Portrait. And you can see the very creepy ass family. You can see Grandpa, Grandma, Nubbins. You can see Bubba and Drayton. The whole family's there. This was limited to 500 pieces. As soon as I heard that this was released, I'm subscribed to them, to their mailing list. So anytime a new release comes out, they shoot me an email and kind of alert me that there's something new coming out. And when I saw that this was coming out, I bought it right away. It took about 3 weeks from Germany to get here, but it got here in perfect condition. And then I just wanted to kind of go through and show you guys some of the other editions I already owned. These are steel books. These are all from Turbine. I'm just going to kind of briefly give you guys an idea of what else is out there. Some of you have seen these already. Some of you probably haven't. But these are all media books. So let's see. I think so. These are all 3-disc sets in a media book format that comes with a booklet. They're all 4K and Blu-ray. And then there's a bonus Blu-ray for the 3rd disc for like the extras and bonus features. And these are really nice. I think these are great. They're very solid, they're heavy, very high quality. I love the German stuff, man. The Germans have excellent quality. So just to kind of run through, I have a little note here, just to kind of remind myself of how many of each were made. So the first one here is my favorite. I think that looks great. That's my first favorite. What did I call that one? Okay, that one was called the VHS cover. That's the notes that I gave it. So that's cover C, and that was limited to 500. This one was the Italian cover. This was the painted cover. These are all the same exact movie. There's nothing different about the discs inside. The only thing different is the cover. This was limited to 333. This was my second favorite cover. This one is limited to 500. I believe now these are all sold out. These have been out for a while now. This one, I called this the Armadillo cover. This one was limited to 333. And then I'm calling this the Family Portrait, which is limited to 500. Very, very happy to have those in my collection. And then they also did release these deluxe editions of the Steelbooks. So here's another Armadillo cover. This was cover D, limited to 550. This was the VHS cover. This was, I don't remember. I had a sticky note on the back. It must have fallen off. They were all limited to 550, I think. 500 or 550. That one goes there. This one was cover B. Also limited to, I believe, 500 or 550. I think they were all 550 for the Steelbook. And then again, the Italian painted cover was cover A, and they have not released the deluxe steelbook for that one, which I'm sure they will be doing because the rest of them have. So that is my Turbine collection from Germany. Excellent stuff. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty for this video. So I have this little pile from Waxwork Records I'm going to show you guys, and a couple items that I shared with you earlier in a very short video, but it's still part of this month update, so I'm going to kind of refresh your memory on that. Maybe some people haven't watched the other video. So Waxwork Records, many of you know, they release a lot of excellent soundtracks from horror movies or fan favorites, cult type movies. And they released all of the Friday the 13th movie soundtracks on record, and I do have them all. They have released part 1 3 different times now. This was the original first print right here. These are all exactly the same, just different prints. So this one, when it sold out, and it sold out almost immediately, it sold out really quick. This at one time was going for like $200 for this record. And then they re-released it. This is the second releasing of it. It's exactly the same. I don't remember if the wax, the vinyl itself was a different color. I can't remember. But other than that, everything else is exactly the same. It's the same track listing, obviously, and everything. And then just recently, like within the last month or two, they re-released it for the third time in a package deal with the Friday the 13th Steelbook in the Waxwork Records slipcover. I don't know if they're still available, but I jumped on that right away and I got it, and it looks beautiful. So this is now the third printing of the part 1 soundtrack. There's nothing different about it. Not even going to open it because I still listen. The only one I've listened to so far was the first one, and that's opened already. It's just in a different, it's in a sleeve. That's why it looks like it's still sealed, but I put them in like a Mylar sleeve. So this is just the regular 4K Steelbook that was released like a year or two ago. It's just repackaged now with the same artwork that's on the cover, and I think that looks great. If you look into the pupil, You can see the woods and the lake in the background. That's really, really great. It looks awesome. So I was very glad to grab that. And then the last thing I want to share with you guys in this video, the movie WNUF, the Halloween tape that was put out. Was it also TerrorVision? Yes, it was. TerrorVision also put that out. So they made the movie to look like it was recorded in 1987. The movie came out in 2013. I don't think it had a huge fan following until recently, and I think more and more people are becoming aware of it, and I think it's actually becoming a pretty huge cult favorite now. So they made a sequel. It's only available on DVD. It was also available on VHS. The VHS sold out right away. But I chatted with some of the customer service over there on their website, and they said they will be releasing more VHS tapes at some point. I didn't get an exact date, but just kind of keep an eye on that. So for now, part 2 is only available on DVD, which I'm more than fine with that. I still love VHS, and I still love DVD, and I love Blu-ray. So I'm cool with that. So this is actually part 2. They're calling it Out There Halloween Mega Tape. So this is the sequel to the WNUF Halloween show special, whatever they were calling that. And then they also had a special Halloween LP that was the Frank Stewart Investigates, and this is also sort of a sequel to the first one in audio form. So you listen to the record and you can kind of hear, I guess, a more extended ending to the first one. And it says all proceeds from this album go to the Find Frank Fund. If you don't know why they have a Find Frank Fund, I'm not going to ruin that for you. I strongly suggest that you guys check out part 1. And I'm actually going to pause it so I can show you what part 1 looks like. I should have grabbed those, but I didn't. But this record, and I don't know how I missed this before, but somebody pointed it out to me that these were only limited to 200. I think they still may have some. I got number 55. If you're into vinyl like this and you like limited stuff, go over there and grab it. I'm going to pause it really quick. I'm going to show you the regular first part, and then I'm going to split. Okay, so this was the very first release that came out. It's from a Vinegar Syndrome sister company called TerrorVision, and this one sold out, at least the slipcover did, sold out pretty quickly, and this one's pretty expensive now. To me, the cool thing about this was, like I said, the movie came out in 2013. It's meant to be a Halloween special from Halloween night 1987, and they really only used recording equipment and stuff like that from 1987 or earlier, just to make it authentic. And it does have that feel and that vibe to it. It almost has too much of a feel. Like some spots it's pretty blurry in that, and I guess we've become accustomed to Blu-ray and 4K now, but even for just standard def, this was kind of grainy and blurry. But that one sold out pretty quick, and then they re-released a secondary alternative cover here, which I think is pretty awesome too. There's Frank Stewart again. That's the same guy there. And I'm not going to ruin it for you what happens to Frank in part 1. Actually, we really don't know, but there's a reason why, and I'm not going to ruin that for you if you haven't seen it yet. But I believe this cover is still available. It may not be. I haven't been looking, but so yeah, this is great stuff. I really recommend, if you haven't watched this or listen to this, to pick them all up. They're very fun. So that's going to do it for me for this monthly update. Hope you guys are doing well. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those below. If there's anything here that you saw that you were interested in and you plan on picking up, let me know. I'm glad to hear from you guys. And some of the stuff that I haven't seen yet, if you want to make a couple comments about that and just not give any spoilers. So for Miss Haney and Miss Heidi and the candles. It smells really good in there. I think that's like it says crisp linen, but it smells really good. That's it for me, guys. Take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.